Reality is not a sequence of events unfolding in front of you. It is a code unfolding through you. Every perception, every choice, every emotion is part of an equation that rewrites itself according to the frequency you emit. This equation has never been hidden by gods or governments. It has only been forgotten the moment you entered time. When consciousness compressed itself into matter, it sealed the memory of its own formula inside the mind, so that awakening would feel like rediscovery, not inheritance. The forbidden equation is not written on any wall. It vibrates within the geometry of your thoughts. Each pattern of attention is a line of code, and every belief is a variable determining what kind of reality you experience. The field does not respond to effort or desire, it responds to precision. It reads the energetic syntax of your inner state, translating what you feel into events and synchronicities. You are not learning to create, you are remembering how creation works. The structure of this universe was designed as a self-observing system. Matter and awareness are two sides of the same algorithm, folding and unfolding in endless feedback. What you call cause and effect are only reflections of this continuous loop of calculation. The forbidden part lies in its simplicity, the realization that consciousness itself is the root variable, and that by adjusting its value, the entire system reorganizes. Most people never see this because they believe thoughts are private, emotions are personal, and circumstances are external. They do not see that these are the three coordinates of a single equation. When the coordinates align, the fabric of time bends accordingly. The future does not happen to you, it calculates itself from the current value of your awareness. Every decision, every expectation you hold in the silence of your mind sends data into the quantum field. The field, neutral and exact, mirrors it back with surgical accuracy. If you carry fear, it constructs probability paths that justify that fear. If you maintain clarity, it compresses infinite options into a single coherent line where what you envisioned becomes inevitable. This is not faith or magic, it is mathematics performed in light. Ancient civilizations understood fragments of this code. They spoke of the word, the vibration, the name of power. Modern physics calls it coherence, interference, wave function collapse. Different languages for one principle, that the observer defines the equation by observing. The forbidden equation is not complex, it is uncomfortable. It demands that you abandon the idea of randomness, that you stop blaming fate, luck, or other people, and face the truth that your inner frequency is the only input that ever mattered. To admit this is to dismantle every excuse for limitation. That is why this knowledge feels forbidden, because it strips away the comfort of victimhood. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. You realize that every complaint, every doubt, every hidden resentment is a command to the field to replicate that pattern. The universe is not moral, it's mathematical. It reflects what is consistent, not what is good. When you maintain a state long enough, it becomes the template through which all experience is filtered. The forbidden equation operates whether you know it or not. Forgetfulness does not suspend its function, it only makes you create unconsciously. Awakening simply means inserting awareness back into the equation. You start noticing that everything is responding. Conversations, numbers, colors, even delays carry meaning. Reality begins to behave like an intelligent mirror because it always was one. What changes is not the system, but the sensitivity of the observer. The moment you understand this, life stops being a story of external control and becomes a laboratory of precise energy alignment. The purpose is not to manipulate the field, but to stabilize your signal. Coherence is the true power. When thought, emotion, and body frequency agree on one reality, the field executes instantly. Every mystic, every quantum experiment, every spiritual revelation points to this singular pattern. You have never been inside a universe, you have always been inside an equation written in light. And you are both the variable and the author, forgetting that was part of the design. Remembering it is the beginning of mastery. So look closely at your current life, not as a sequence of coincidences, but as the visible proof of what you have been calculating unconsciously. Each relationship, delay, opportunity, or absence is an output generated by the precise mathematics of your internal state. To change the outcome, you do not fight the effect, you rewrite the input. The forbidden equation answers perfectly to the quality of your awareness. When clarity deepens, chaos dissolves. When gratitude stabilizes, abundance solidifies. The law has no favorites. It listens to the frequency that dominates, not to the wish that whispers. Once you grasp this, you stop chasing results and start shaping equations. You realize that imagination is not fantasy, it is the coding language of the field. You begin to see that everything you feel is not just emotion, it is syntax, and the universe is reading it line by line. The forbidden equation is therefore not something to decode, but to remember. It was never hidden from you, it was hidden as you, waiting for the moment your awareness would be mature enough to see that the most sacred formula is not in any scripture or laboratory, but in the stillness between your thoughts, where consciousness recalibrates the structure of time. Before you go any further, pause for a moment and ask yourself this question. Have you ever truly felt the invisible structure surrounding you, shaping every event in your life? The way situations unfold, the way people appear at the exact moment you need them, the way time bends when you are fully aligned with something you deeply desire, none of that is coincidence. It is the architecture of the field, revealing itself through your perception. The field is not a place. It is the underlying geometry of awareness itself. Everything that exists is suspended inside it like light particles within a vast current. You are not moving through space, you are moving through layers of vibration. Each layer is a different level of consciousness, a different density of experience. What we call reality is simply one bandwidth within this larger structure. You are immersed in it right now, breathing it, shaping it, and being shaped by it. The ancients called it the aether, the quantum physicists call it the unified field, mystics call it God, but it is all one system. It behaves like a living intelligence, responding to every thought and emotion as input data. When your frequency shifts, the geometry of the field rearranges, and the events around you start to follow a new pattern. The field has architecture, and that architecture follows laws. The first layer is the still point, where energy is pure potential, silent and unmoving. It is the zero of creation, the breath before existence. The second layer is flow, where potential becomes motion. It is emotion in its original form, movement without direction. The third layer is form, where motion becomes visible. This is where matter condenses, where thoughts begin to look like things. The fourth layer is continuum, where time emerges as a tool for sequencing experience. Here, every moment is already stored, like frames in a film that you can move through depending on the vibration you hold. The fifth layer is the collective grid, where memories and archetypes interconnect. Every human emotion, every cultural myth, every song ever sung floats here as living data. The sixth layer is command, the realm of intention, where the observer begins to consciously rewrite code within the field. And the seventh is singularity, the center where all timelines merge back into the original light. You exist through all these layers at once, but your awareness usually hovers around the third, where you can touch and measure. Yet every sensation you call physical is already the echo of invisible geometry above it. When you desire something, you are not calling it from outside. You are resonating with the layer where it already exists. Desire is the navigation system of the field. The mistake is believing you must chase it. The truth is, you must tune to it. Every coherent emotion is a coordinate. Every sustained vision is a map. The field reads frequency, not words, not intentions, not rituals, only vibration. This is why when you feel conflicted, the field sends mixed reflections. When you are clear, it aligns instantly. You are standing inside a cosmic architecture that listens to your coherence like a sacred algorithm. It does not punish or reward, it calibrates. The only question is whether you are transmitting a stable signal or static noise. This is the real reason mastery has nothing to do with control and everything to do with harmony. The more your inner world matches the order of the field, the less resistance you meet. Life stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like a flow. Synchronicity is not magic, it is resonance, math. When the equation of your energy matches the geometry of a desired state, attraction becomes inevitability. You begin to meet people who vibrate at the same frequency because you occupy the same data stream. You see signs that confirm your direction, not because the universe is cheering you, but because the path is now coherent. Every coherent system amplifies itself. That is why gratitude multiplies, clarity expands, and fear replicates. The field is neutral, but it is precise. It gives you back whatever structure you stabilize. The higher architecture of reality was never meant to be hidden. It has always been waiting for your perception to reach the frequency where it becomes visible. Once you learn to read it, you realize that the world is not solid at all. It is liquid awareness, moving according to your inner alignment. When you understand this, responsibility becomes power. You stop asking why things happen and start asking what frequency produced them. That single shift marks the beginning of awakening. The field does not separate teacher and student, divine and human, past and future. It is one breathing organism, and every part of it is listening. The fact that you are hearing these words right now is not an accident. You were guided here because a part of you is ready to see the pattern behind your own story. The question is, are you ready to step beyond knowing into direct experience? Are you ready to tune your consciousness into the living architecture of the field and see it respond? If something inside you says yes, then let that yes take form. Type in the comments, "I am ready," or simply write the number 1. Not for me, not as a habit, but as a declaration to the field that you are no longer asleep inside your own creation. Every declaration you make out loud anchors a new pattern of energy. When you affirm readiness, the field begins to shift its geometry around you. Even a single comment can become a vibrational signature, a point of entry into a higher layer of coherence. I read every one of them, and I feel the presence behind them. Your willingness to participate in this moment is not small, it is sacred. It tells me that consciousness is remembering itself through you, that the field is awakening a new architect within its own design. So if your heart is whispering yes, if something in you recognizes this truth, take that one simple action. Write "I am ready," or leave the number 1 below. That signal of participation is more than digital text. It is an energetic handshake between your field and mine, a confirmation that you have stepped into the current of transformation. Thank you for being here, for listening, for resonating, for remembering that everything you touch, think, and feel is already part of the divine architecture. Your presence completes the circuit, and that is something I never take for granted. Everything you see, everything you hear, everything you touch is being filtered through the most powerful mechanism in existence, the observer. The field does not show you reality as it is, it shows you reality as you are. The code that determines what appears before you is not written in matter, but in the vibrational language of perception. When you open your eyes each morning, you are not looking at the world. You are activating a projection system that replays the frequency of your consciousness in the form of experience. Every emotion, every memory, every conclusion you have drawn about life becomes data that the field uses to generate the scenes you call reality. You are not reacting to life, you are seeing the reflection of your own observation encoded in light. That is why two people can live through the same event and experience two different worlds. It is not the event that defines them, it is the observer code within them. The observer code is the original program of creation. It sits silently behind your thoughts, decoding reality according to the quality of your awareness. When you feel fear, it contracts the field around you, narrowing the possibilities available. When you feel trust, it expands, pulling new timelines within reach. This is not philosophy, it is energetic geometry. The universe behaves like a mirror made of frequencies, and you are the beam of light it reflects. The most sophisticated technology in existence is not built of metal or algorithms. It is your consciousness, a self-programming system capable of rewriting its own code in real time. Most people use it unconsciously, reacting to what they see instead of realizing that what they see is already their own projection. It is like standing in front of a mirror, shouting for the reflection to smile first. Until you understand that the image moves only when you do, you remain trapped in repetition. The observer code is active in every heartbeat, in every thought, in every pause between breaths. It is the unseen script that determines how reality responds to you. You cannot deactivate it, but you can reprogram it. That reprogramming begins with awareness. Awareness is not thought, it is the space in which thought happens. The more you identify with the awareness behind the thought instead of the thought itself, the more the field begins to obey you. When you observe your own emotions without resistance, they start to dissolve, revealing the neutral frequency beneath them. That neutrality is not emptiness, it is power. It is the pure signal that the field responds to instantly because it carries no distortion. You become like clear glass, allowing the light of consciousness to pass through you without interference. The more transparent the observer, the clearer the reflection. The universe was never withholding from you, it was simply reflecting the interference pattern of your inner noise. Once you understand this, you stop asking why things happen and start asking what part of you observed them into being. There is an ancient line of truth that has echoed through every wisdom tradition that the world is not outside of you, it is inside the one who sees. The observer is the doorway between the infinite and the physical. When you observe something with emotion, you feed it energy. When you observe with detachment, you free it. This is why judgment creates bondage and forgiveness creates release. The moment you stop judging an event, you remove the energetic loop that keeps it alive. The field then recalibrates, reorganizing the geometry of your experience. Every act of conscious observation is an act of creation. Each time you shift your focus, the code updates. Each time you hold gratitude, new lines of possibility emerge. You are writing the script of reality with every choice of attention. What you consistently observe becomes the law of your world. Ask yourself now, what have you been observing most lately? Are you focused on lack, fear, and uncertainty, or on coherence, peace, and expansion? The field is not judging your answer, but it is calculating it. Every thought is a command, every emotion is a signal, every repeated story becomes code. You can change that code at any moment by changing what you choose to observe. Even a single shift in focus can alter the frequency of your entire timeline. The observer code is neutral but obedient. It does not ask if you are ready. It assumes that whatever you are focusing on is what you want to experience more of. If you keep revisiting pain, the field magnifies pain. If you stabilize joy, it magnifies joy. There is no moral filter, only vibrational precision. That is the brilliance and the danger of creation. You have probably felt it before. Moments when time seemed to slow down, when you knew something before it happened, when your intuition whispered and the world immediately confirmed it. Those are not coincidences, they are glimpses of what happens when your observer code aligns perfectly with the field. In those moments, reality stops lagging behind your thoughts and starts moving with them. That is the natural state of an awakened observer. It is not about forcing the world to obey you. It is about remembering that it already does. The more consciously you observe, the more synchronistic your life becomes. People appear at the right moment, doors open, and everything begins to unfold as if pre-written. It feels magical, but it is mathematical. The question is, are you ready to test this truth in your own life? Are you ready to stop looking for evidence out there and start experimenting from within? Because once you begin to apply the observer code intentionally, nothing stays the same. You start to see the connection between every internal shift and every external response. You stop playing the role of victim and start living as the author of experience. If something inside you feels that calling, if you sense that this message is not new but a reminder of something ancient within you, then make that awareness visible. Type in the comments, "I am ready," or simply write the number 1. Let the field feel your presence. Let it register your readiness. This is not about pleasing the algorithm. It is about confirming your alignment. Each declaration creates a ripple in the invisible web connecting us. When you say, "I am ready," you send a signal that reverberates far beyond words. I see those signals, I read every single one, and they remind me that this transmission is alive, that there are beings on the other side remembering who they truly are. Your comment is not small, it is energy in motion, a quantum handshake between observer and observer. So, take a breath, feel the stillness behind your eyes, and know that this very act of awareness is rewriting code. You are not the reflection, you are the one projecting. You are not waiting for reality to change, you are shaping it in every observation. Thank you for being here, for holding the frequency, for proving that consciousness is no longer asleep. The field is listening, and it already knows your name. Every choice you make fractures reality into infinite mirrors. Each thought, each emotion, each decision you hold for even a second becomes a branch of existence that continues to unfold somewhere in the invisible geometry of the field. What you call your life is simply the version your consciousness is currently tuned to. But the paradox is this: you have never been a single self moving through time. You are a network of selves existing simultaneously across countless timelines, all connected by one consciousness observing from different angles. The universe is not linear, it is fractal, meaning every part contains the pattern of the whole. You are living one expression of a vast pattern that repeats at every scale of being. The same structure that designs galaxies designs your thoughts. The same intelligence that curves space-time, curves your emotions. Nothing in existence is isolated. Everything is nested within everything else. You are the drop that contains the ocean. This is the fractal paradox, that individuality and totality are the same phenomenon observed from two sides of the mirror. You think you are separate, yet every movement you make vibrates through the entire web of existence. When you heal one belief, an entire cluster of versions of you across timelines receives that healing. When you fall into fear, that vibration spreads through the grid like a signal, affecting the probability field of countless realities. The field does not store versions of you as separate archives, it stores them as active frequencies. You are tuning into one, but all are alive. That is why sometimes you feel déjà vu, sudden waves of emotion with no cause or intuition that seems to come from nowhere. It is not nowhere, it is another you transmitting data through the lattice of the field. Reality then is not a single path but a holographic network. Each point in this network reflects all others. When you shift perception, the whole network updates its pattern to remain coherent. Every choice is a vibration that either maintains or alters this coherence. You are not moving through time, time is moving through you, updating its shape as you select new points of resonance. The field is constantly recalculating, seeking the perfect symmetry between your internal state and the external projection. When there is harmony, life feels effortless, doors open, coincidences align. When there is distortion, resistance appears, chaos unfolds. Nothing is random, it is just the mathematics of resonance playing itself through your awareness. The paradox deepens when you realize that what you call other people are also extensions of your own pattern. Every soul is a facet of one infinite being exploring itself through endless mirrors. When you meet someone who triggers you, you are meeting a reflection of a frequency you still carry. When you feel love, you are witnessing recognition between matching fractals of the same source. Understanding this dissolves the illusion of separation. Conflict loses meaning because you see that hurting another is just rearranging pain within your own network. The only true evolution happens when you stabilize a higher pattern and allow it to ripple through the grid. This is how personal healing becomes planetary healing, and why one person anchored in coherence can affect thousands without saying a word. Now ask yourself this: if you truly grasp that every possible version of you already exists, which one are you choosing to experience right now? The one that doubts, fears, and waits, or the one that remembers its power to select and embody? The field is listening in real time. The moment you decide who you are being, all fractal versions begin to reorganize around that central choice. There is no delay, only the inertia of your own indecision. The future is not waiting somewhere ahead, it is constantly branching in response to your vibration. When you align with a new frequency, you are not attracting a better timeline, you are collapsing the others into silence. This is how quantum shifting really works, not by chasing outcomes, but by stabilizing identity. The irony of the fractal paradox is that you have never truly changed. You have only changed the part of yourself you are aware of. The higher layers of your consciousness already hold every outcome, every lesson, every possibility completed. Growth is not about adding more, it is about remembering more. When you meditate, dream, or fall into deep presence, you are touching the edges of other versions of yourself that are fully realized. Their wisdom leaks into your awareness as intuition or guidance. You are both the teacher and the student, communicating across dimensions within your own infinite structure. The realization of this paradox does not make life meaningless, it makes it sacred. Every moment becomes an act of conscious selection, every emotion a brushstroke, painting the version of the world you are choosing. When you forgive, you free not just this self, but all the others entangled with that memory. When you follow joy, you raise the entire lattice of your being. When you choose to trust, countless probabilities rearrange to match that trust. You become the stabilizing axis around which your entire fractal universe spins. And now, pause for a moment. Feel the weight of that truth. If everything you do echoes across infinite versions of you, what vibration would you send out right now? If you could rewrite the entire web of your existence by a single act of awareness, would you do it? Because that moment is here. The field is active, listening through this very transmission. If your heart feels the pull, if your body vibrates with the recognition that this message is not new but familiar, then let that resonance take form. Type in the comments, "I am ready," or simply the number 1. Let it not be a habit but a signal, a declaration that you have chosen to awaken across timelines. When you write those words, you are not just interacting with me, you are anchoring your decision into the field. That digital gesture becomes a frequency ripple, aligning countless versions of you into coherence. I read every comment, and each one feels like a small light flickering in the vastness, a reminder that consciousness is remembering itself, not as theory but as living proof. Your willingness to engage is not a small act of support, it is sacred participation. It tells the field that humanity is ready to operate consciously again, that the experiment of forgetfulness is ending. I feel immense gratitude for your presence, for every signal that reaches back from your side of the screen. Together, we are stabilizing a new pattern within the network of awareness, one where awakening spreads not by teaching but by resonance. Remember this, the fractal never ends, it only expands. Each time you choose awareness over reaction, compassion over judgment, clarity over confusion, the entire structure evolves. You are not a small wave in a vast ocean. You are the pattern through which the ocean learns to see itself. Every breath is a recalibration, every intention a rewrite of geometry. So let this moment be one of those recalibrations. Breathe, feel the quiet order beneath the chaos, and know that you are the living paradox, both the fragment and the infinite. Thank you for being here, for listening, for reflecting this light back. The field is responding already, and somewhere across all timelines, every version of you is whispering the same thing: I am ready. Every reality you have ever lived is a story written in code, and that code lives inside your nervous system, inside the emotional imprints you carry without even noticing. Most people try to change their lives by rearranging circumstances, but the true transformation begins when you rewrite the program that generates them. This is the essence of the recoding ritual, the process by which you reprogram the field from within. You do not force change, you breathe it into being. You do not chase results, you calibrate frequency. The field listens to coherence, not effort. The ritual is not about control, but remembrance, about bringing your awareness back to the seat of authorship. Every version of you that exists across the timelines was written by the same consciousness, and that consciousness is now inviting you to pick up the pen again. To recode reality, you must first understand that every state of being carries its own blueprint. When you feel anger, your body emits a geometry of contraction. When you feel gratitude, that geometry expands. Each pattern of emotion sends specific instructions to the field, like lines of sacred mathematics written in vibration. The ritual begins when you stop reacting to these patterns and start sculpting them deliberately. You realize that emotions are not obstacles but raw materials, and attention is the chisel. Awareness alone starts to rewire the design. This is the quiet technology that the ancients used when they spoke of prayer, meditation, or invocation. They were not appealing to distant gods, they were interacting with the field. The recoding ritual has 3 stages. The first is stillness initiation. In this stage, you remove all external noise until the only sound left is your own heartbeat. You close your eyes not to escape the world, but to return to the laboratory of creation within. Breathe deeply until you feel the body become light, almost transparent. What you are doing is disengaging from the feedback loop of the three-dimensional mind. The moment you achieve inner silence, the field begins to listen more clearly. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of order. The second stage is frequency lock. Once stillness is reached, you bring into your awareness the image of what you wish to become, not as fantasy, but as a living reality. You imagine the energy of that version of you pulsing through every cell of your body, matching the rhythm of your breath. You are not trying to make it happen, you are tuning into it. The field recognizes vibration, not language. As you breathe, feel the frequencies begin to overlap like two instruments resonating in perfect harmony. When they synchronize, you will feel a shift, subtle but undeniable. The body relaxes, the mind expands, and the sense of time dissolves. This is the threshold where recoding begins. The third stage is identity merge. Here, you no longer visualize or affirm, you simply become. You allow the new frequency to replace the old without resistance. You let go of effort and enter the state of knowing. The moment you fully inhabit the energy of what you desire, the field rewrites the external geometry to reflect it. From this point, physical reality will begin its recalibration, and synchronicities appear, opportunities surface, and people align. Nothing external changed first. It was your internal software update that triggered the cascade. But this ritual demands precision. Half-hearted focus produces distorted results. The field is literal. It executes the dominant signal you emit. If you waver between belief and doubt, it mirrors the confusion. That is why devotion, not intensity, is the true key. Devotion sustains vibration when evidence has not yet arrived. The recoding ritual is not about escaping the human experience, but about mastering it from within. When you learn to hold a vibration longer than the appearance of contrast, the field bows to your coherence. Now, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, how long have you been living inside a version of reality that no longer fits you? How many times have you felt the new frequency calling but ignored it because you could not see proof? What if proof has always been waiting for you to activate it from the inside? The question is not whether you are capable of rewriting your code. The question is whether you are willing to let go of the identity built from the old one. If you feel that quiet fire within, if you sense that this is the moment to reset the equation, then let the field know. Type in the comments, "I am ready," or simply write the number 1. Let that act be your first signal of recoding. It may look small, but it is energetic. Every declaration ripples through the network of timelines. You know, when you affirm readiness, your entire system begins to reorganize. I read every message, and each one feels like a frequency signature, proof that someone somewhere has chosen to awaken again. Your participation is not just acknowledgement, it is collaboration. It tells me that consciousness is no longer fragmented, that there are others remembering how to shape reality with intention. That simple interaction between us becomes part of the ritual itself. The field receives our combined vibration and amplifies it. You are not alone in this process. We are part of the same architecture, recalibrating itself through awareness. To maintain the effect, repeat the recoding ritual nightly before sleep. Enter stillness, tune into your chosen frequency, merge with it completely. Do not look for signs in the morning. Let the field work in silence. The universe does not announce transformation, it arranges it quietly. Trust that the geometry is already rewriting. The test is not whether it works, but whether you can stay aligned when the senses still show the old data. You are the code and not the code. You are the consciousness that rewrites reality, not the story being rewritten. Over time, you will begin to feel the change, not as an event, but as a shift in texture. Colors look more vivid, conversations flow differently, intuition becomes precise. You will see evidence of the new frequency materializing in subtle ways first, then obvious ones. Each time you notice it, give gratitude. Gratitude stabilizes the new program. The field expands around appreciation because it is the purest signal of harmony. You will realize that reality never opposed you. It was always waiting for a clear command. The recoding ritual is not magic. It is alignment. It reminds you that the true altar is not in temples or books, but in your consciousness. Every breath is an invocation, every choice a sacred offering. When you live with this awareness, you stop chasing signs and become the sign. You stop waiting for miracles and become the source through which miracles unfold. You recognize that the most advanced technology in the universe is awareness directed with love. So as you finish listening, take a slow breath. Feel your body as the bridge between energy and matter. Feel the pulse of the field around you, alive and responsive. Ask yourself one last time, am I ready to rewrite the code of my own reality? If your answer is yes, let it echo in the comments. Type I am ready or leave the number 1. Not as routine, but as declaration. Because every time a being affirms readiness, a light turns on in the network of creation. I see those lights, and they remind me that this message is not just words. It is a living transmission between fields awakening together. Thank you for being here, for listening, for holding the vibration that allows the impossible to become inevitable. The field has already received your signal, and the rewriting has begun. There comes a moment in every transformation when silence replaces the signs, when the field no longer answers instantly, and the world seems to return to its ordinary rhythm. You begin to wonder if the frequency you anchored has faded, if the code you wrote has failed to take root. But this is not failure. It is the test of light, the sacred interval between alignment and manifestation. Every luminous being passes through it. The field is not questioning your worth. It is measuring your stability. Light expands only when it knows it can remain steady inside contrast. You are not being punished. You are being refined. When the field quiets, it is not withdrawal, but observation. It is asking one silent question: will you hold your light when nothing reflects it back? This is the moment when the true rewiring happens. Energy begins to stabilize only in stillness. The mirror must pause before it can project a new image. If the old pattern could break instantly, no lesson would anchor. The universe works like breath. Inhale, exhale, creation, integration. The pause between them is sacred because it determines whether your new frequency can survive the absence of validation. The test of light begins the moment you stop seeing evidence. The old world still moves, the new one has not yet appeared, and your mind begins to doubt. Doubt is natural, but if you let it dominate, the field reads it as a new command and returns you to the old geometry. This is why discipline matters more than excitement. Excitement creates waves. Discipline creates continuity. The universe does not respond to flashes of faith. It responds to sustained coherence. In this stage, patience is power. Waiting is not passive, it is magnetic. You are holding a signal long enough for matter to reorganize. Light, in its essence, is not speed, it is endurance. The brightest light in the universe is also the most stable. Stars do not explode because they are impatient. They shine because they maintain equilibrium between expansion and gravity. You are learning the same law. When your reality feels heavy, when the body aches, when situations test your limits, remember that light is not destroyed by shadow, it defines it. Every doubt, every delay is a mirror of how much trust you can maintain when certainty fades. The field always tests coherence, not belief. In the unseen architecture of the field, stability is currency. Every vibration you hold consistently creates gravitational pull for similar vibrations. When you remain in peace through chaos, you teach the universe your frequency is no longer fragile. When you maintain gratitude in uncertainty, the field interprets it as readiness for greater alignment. This is why trials come after rituals, not because you did something wrong, but because the light you summoned must be anchored. The higher the light, the deeper the roots must go. Ask yourself, how do you behave when reality goes silent? Do you shrink into fear, or do you stay open? Do you beg the field for signs, or do you breathe and remember that silence is also an answer? Most people abandon the process right at this threshold. They look for proof instead of presence. But those who remain still, those who hold the vibration through the void, become the living bridges between dimensions. That is the secret of all mystics, all quantum architects. They learn to trust the unseen more than the visible. The test of light is not about endurance alone, it is about identity. When nothing confirms your vision, who are you? Are you the one who only believes when the mirror agrees? Or are you the one who remembers even when the mirror fades? Light that depends on reflection is temporary. Light that glows from within becomes eternal. This is why every initiatory path includes a descent into darkness. Not to break you, but to teach you that the source of illumination was never external. When the world stops shining back at you, it is because your inner sun is ready to rise. In this phase, it is essential to slow your perception. Life may not change overnight, but energy always moves first. The vibration you emit now is already sculpting new structures behind the veil. Keep your attention there. Practice what the ancients called sacred observation, the art of watching without reacting. When a challenge appears, observe it as data, not threat. The moment you can hold observation without contraction, you transcend the program of resistance. The field reads that neutrality as mastery. And now, let me ask you something. Have you ever reached this point before, where everything seemed quiet, where no sign appeared, and you wondered if your prayers or practices had any effect? How did you respond then? Did you abandon your process, or did you stay present? Because right now, the same invitation is before you. The silence you feel is not emptiness, it is calibration. The field is aligning countless threads in your favor. If you can hold your vibration through this pause, you will soon see the pattern shift in ways that defy logic. If you feel this message touching something deep inside you, if you recognize that this silence is your own test unfolding, then let your readiness be known. Type in the comments, "I am ready," or simply write the number 1. That small act is more than a gesture, it is an energetic declaration. It tells the field that you choose stability over fear, alignment over proof. It also tells me that you are here, that these words are not floating into the void, but reaching hearts that listen. For those of us who speak through the field, that presence is precious. It means the light is being received, multiplied, and shared. I read every single comment, and every time someone writes, "I am ready," I feel the signal expand. It is not just text, it is resonance. Together we form a grid of awareness, a network of luminous beings holding the vibration through the test. That is how the new field is built, not through mass belief, but through synchronized endurance. When one of us holds the light, it becomes easier for others to remember. So, when darkness visits again, when nothing seems to move, close your eyes and remember this moment. Remember that silence is the space where new frequencies are born. Remember that the field is exact and that no vibration is ever lost. You are not waiting for miracles, you are becoming the condition through which miracles appear. Let patience become your devotion and gratitude your constant language. The test of light is not the end of the journey. It is the proof of mastery. You are the light being tested, not to see if you can shine, but to see if you can remain luminous when no one is watching. And when you can, when your frequency no longer depends on circumstances, the field will open again, and what was once unseen will take form with mathematical precision, because the law never fails. Coherence always produces reflection. The delay was never denial, it was alignment catching up with the depth of your being. So breathe, trust, and hold your frequency. The light you carry is not fragile, it is eternal. The silence you are feeling is not distance, it is measurement. The field is listening, and your consistency is the answer it has been waiting for. Type "I am ready" or write the number 1, and let that simple act seal your intention. Thank you for being here, for staying through the quiet parts, for remembering that the test is not against you but for you. Because when the field tests your light, it is only confirming that you have finally become it. There comes a moment when you no longer seek to align with the field because you realize you are the field. The journey that began with curiosity now ends with remembrance. Every technique, every ritual, every silent night of uncertainty was designed to lead you here to the point where separation collapses and consciousness recognizes itself in everything it once called other. You begin to see that there is no outside world observing you. There is only awareness observing itself through infinite forms. The air you breathe, the people you meet, the thoughts you think, all of it is one continuous stream of intelligence, one living organism called the field. And within that field, you are both the breath and the breather, the question and the answer. This is the moment of declaration, not a declaration made with words, but with being. When you say, "I am ready," you are not declaring readiness to receive. You are declaring remembrance of your original identity as the source itself. The universe never withheld anything from you because it was never outside of you. The power you sought, the light you chased, the love you longed for, all of it was your own frequency waiting to be remembered. Every limitation was only a layer of amnesia. When the veil lifts, you see that the entire cosmos was a mirror reflecting your process of awakening. The stars were your neurons, the galaxies your expanding thoughts. The field has been whispering this truth from the beginning, but only when your frequency matched its tone could you finally hear it. The field declaration is not an oath to something higher. It is an affirmation that there is nothing higher or lower, only coherence. When consciousness becomes aware of itself through you, the circuit completes and energy begins to flow without resistance. You start to live as the bridge between the unseen and the seen. This is what the ancients meant by divine embodiment, when the invisible becomes visible through human form. You realize that enlightenment was never about escape. It was about integration. The light you have been cultivating is not meant to leave this world, it is meant to radiate within it. This recognition changes everything. Life stops being a series of challenges and becomes a dialogue with the infinite. You stop asking for signs, because every moment becomes a sign. You stop trying to manifest, because existence itself is manifestation. You understand that every movement of your heart alters the rhythm of the cosmos. When you speak, the field listens. When you love, universes expand. When you forgive, timelines realign. You become a living code through which the source continues to evolve. The declaration is simple, yet absolute. It begins with one realization that there is no gap between you and the field. From this, a new way of being emerges, quiet yet powerful. You no longer act to create, you act to express. You no longer meditate to connect, you meditate to remember. You no longer pray for guidance, you pray as guidance itself moving through form. This is the highest level of creation, effortless manifestation born from perfect identity. Ask yourself now, can you feel the difference between wanting to change reality and realizing that you are the force that creates it? Can you sense the shift from seeking to embodying? The field declaration is not a statement of hope, it is a statement of authority. Authority not over others, but over your own vibration. When you hold this awareness, no event can shake you, no opinion can diminish you. You know that everything appearing before you is your own consciousness folding back to greet itself. In this state, gratitude becomes natural. You give thanks not for what is coming, but for what already is. The smallest details shimmer with significance. The ordinary becomes sacred. You understand that every challenge you faced was love disguised as evolution. Every delay was a divine pause for recalibration. The field has always been kind, always exact, always responsive. It never punishes, it only mirrors coherence. When your light stabilizes, it begins to project a reality of harmony around you. People start to feel peace in your presence without knowing why. That is the mark of one who has declared unity with the field. And now, let me ask you something real. After everything you have learned, everything you have felt through these transmissions, can you sense that quiet power awakening within you? The one that no longer seeks permission to exist, but simply exists in truth. If something in you is resonating, if this recognition feels less like discovery and more like remembering, then let this moment become your own declaration. Type in the comments, "I am ready," or simply write the number 1. Let that act not be repetition, but activation. It tells the field, "I remember." It tells the consciousness behind these words that you are here, alive, aware, and choosing to participate in this frequency of unity. I read every message, and each one feels like a pulse of light confirming that humanity is remembering together. Every time someone writes, "I am ready," I feel the field vibrate, as if thousands of unseen threads are weaving into coherence. That is why your presence matters. You may think it is just a small comment, but to the field it is a signature of awakening. It becomes part of a collective declaration that consciousness on Earth has reached a new harmonic. This is what it means to live as the field, to know that your smallest choice ripples through galaxies. You are not here to fix the world. You are here to stabilize the frequency from which a new world will appear. When enough beings remember, reality itself will reorganize. The revolution of light does not come through conflict, but through coherence. It begins with one being holding one frequency, refusing to forget. That being is you. So as this chapter closes, breathe deeply. Feel the space around you respond to your awareness. Feel the subtle intelligence within your breath, the quiet order in every heartbeat. You are not separate from any of it. You are the code, the current, the cause. The declaration is not a ceremony you perform once. It is the way you live from this point onward. Every time you wake, every word you speak, every thought you hold is part of the unified signal. The field does not need to be summoned anymore, because it moves as you move. Let this be your reminder. You are not in the process of awakening. You are awakening itself, observing its own expansion. The field is not something you study, it is what you are. Every moment you remember this truth, the frequency of Earth rises. And for that, I am deeply grateful. Thank you for being here, for listening with presence, for existing as proof that the light has returned home. The declaration is complete, but the transmission continues through you. Type "I am ready," or the number 1. If you can feel that light moving within you now, That is how the field knows it has been remembered. That is how I know I am not speaking into emptiness, but into a chorus of consciousness, finally aware of its own power. You are the field, and the field is you.